Talk about sleep. This is a recording from the Sleep Apnea Trust of someone with sleep apnea. We heard it a little bit earlier on. Let's hear a little bit more now. It's giving me the ick. Dr. Lindsay Browning, sleep expert. Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. How are you doing?
Yeah, and it's the noise of someone stopping breathing repeatedly in sleep, which sort of starts you into waking up, doesn't it? Tell us all about it. Snoring and sleep apnea. I mean, what exactly are we talking about here, Lindsay?
Yeah, so snoring's often seen as something quite innocent. It's just the noise people can sometimes make that might annoy your partner, but just during sleep. But the reality is, when you're snoring, your airway is a little bit blocked. It's partially blocked. That's what's causing that noise. And sleep apnea is when your airway completely blocks up, meaning that there's no air going into your lungs at all. And after a little while, maybe up to a minute, your body starts realizing that there's no oxygen and your oxygen content of your blood is going down. And your body thinks, oh my God, crisis. We have to wake ourselves up with a big like noise like you heard just now to start breathing again. And the trouble with sleep apnea is that this stopping breathing can happen hundreds of times in the night. And each time it happens, the person is woken up from sleep and they may well not remember any of those awakenings the next day, but they'll wake up the next day, think, oh my goodness, I had 7, 8 hours sleep, but I feel exhausted
Knackered, yeah.
because I don't know why. Because they keep
So
waking up and their sleep quality is wrecked.
I always thought snoring, we're not talking about sleep apnea, but snoring when it partially blocks the airway was indicative of a deep sleep. You know, sometimes you have it when you've had a shandy or when you've had a very, very long day. Is it or isn't it?
It's not a good thing. It isn't indicative of a deep sleep per se. It happens when someone's had some drinks because when you've had some drinks, your whole muscle tone is relaxed. And what happens is, therefore, your airway the muscles aren't keeping your airway as open. So when you've had a few drinks, your muscles are more relaxed and it closes up. But no, snoring is never a good thing. It's never like, oh, good, that person's sleeping well because they're snoring.
I did not know that. That's interesting. But I mean, a frequent conversation is you're snoring. No, I'm not. A bit of that goes on, doesn't it? Because you're sometimes you're just not aware of it, are you?
No, absolutely. Most snorers have no idea. And sleep apnea, the thing we're talking about, actually is associated with some really serious health implications. It can cause an increased heart disease, stroke risk, heart attacks. It's really serious. And the trouble is people don't know it because you're asleep. You wake up the next day and you don't hear yourself snoring. It's only if you have a partner who's annoyed by it that you're told, or if you record yourself sleeping, or you share a room with someone one night that you'll know you're snoring. Otherwise, people often don't have any memory of it unless they wake up sometimes and realize they've woken up with a gasp of breath, or sometimes people will
I
report
shudder,
waking
yeah.
up with a choking dream or something.
Yeah, oh goodness, yes. And you feel like, oh, I nearly saw it. You feel terrible. That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Thomas in Eastbourne, Jonathan in Braintree. Look at this, Stuart in Dunfermline. Hi all. Thomas, wow, straight out the traps on this. Thomas, you were diagnosed 10 years ago, I'm reading. How has it affected your life, sir? And a very warm welcome to you.
Yeah, hi there, thank you. Yeah, in a big way, as I put in a text earlier, mainly my relationship life, because I've had a long-term partner with someone, but she didn't mind so much with the snoring. But when I've been dating previous people, when you stay the night eventually, you'll get kicked out sometimes because they get so upset with the snoring the morning after. Thankfully, I've got a partner in Japan, a long-term partner. We're looking to move there at the end of the year, like get our own place together. But we have to get to bedrooms because she's experienced my snoring overnight, and it's just caused her so much frustration that we have to find 2 bedrooms.
Does she wake you up because of it?
Yes, mainly just out of concern because it's just a sudden choking sound. She thinks I'm having like a health issue, but it's just I'll just have to say no. It's just my sleep apnea. But I mean, in the previous 10 years I've been diagnosed, I've had the CPAP machine, which I didn't find too helpful at the start. Now, I'm not going to say it's a terrible machine, but it's just because it kept me awake even more because of the sounds it makes. But one thing that did help with the noise levels was actually lots of exercise, losing weight, because I think weight is a big factor in sleep apnea. And I've lost 40 kilograms just doing cardio and resistance training, and the noise levels have definitely got better.
Wow. This is great, because lots of people talk about those particular apnea machines as well. So this is so interesting on how it affects relationships, and your partner obviously is very worried as well. But at the same time, it can be so irritating.
Correct. I feel terrible for doing that, because I'm affecting someone else's sleep as well as my own, so it's quite embarrassing.
Yeah. Stay there, hold that thought. More to come to share experiences as well. Sum up what you said at the top: snoring, sleep apnea, because we're hearing the government is going to introduce this national sleep strategy to help tackle the growing number of people suffering with sleep apnea, is what we're focusing on now. And we're talking about a sleep crisis in this country. Do we have one?
Yes, absolutely. There are so many people massively struggling with their sleep, and a lot of them are struggling in silence, just thinking that it's just part of their life, that being tired, not getting enough sleep is just what they have to accept. And sometimes it's because people don't know they can improve. Sometimes they're not aware of the problem, like with sleep apnea. A lot of times people with sleep apnea don't even know they have it. And for others, because of the difficulty, maybe they worry about seeing a doctor, they worry about the wait, they might not even actually seek treatment or help, which is out there.